All right, so we are proving trig identities part 1 today. And here's what we're going to do. I gave you out a sheet with the Pythagorean identities, the reciprocal identities, and the quotient identities on there. You got to memorize them. We are going to do something like 12 problems where we practice using them, and then that's it. What I want you to do for each of the 12 problems is the following. We're going to develop some skills that we're going to need for tomorrow. All I want you to do is rewrite the real simple expression using sine or cosine and reduce it down. So let's do this first one. How could the tangent of theta be rewritten as a sine or cosine? It's on that sheet. Look through those boxes. See if you see something. Selena. Look at the boxes. No guessing. This is not about Amanda. Very nice. The tangent, if you look on the sheet in those boxes, can be rewritten as sine theta over cos theta. That's it. That's all I want you to do. It's that easy. Let's do the next one. How about the cotangent of theta? What is it? Yeah, it is cos theta over sine theta. That's it. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. I appreciate if you need a minute or two to take that down. Okay. How about the secant of theta? What's this? Yeah, it's 1 over cos theta. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Once again, this is it's a little something new, but not too terribly new. How about cosecant theta? 1 over the sine of theta. Let's go into it. So we're up to question number 7, and Jason says, so like cotangent. Cotangent has two different ways we could use. Cotangent of theta is the same thing as 1 over the tangent of theta, and it's also the same thing as cosine over sine. And so what I would say to you, Jason, is that the most useful, not most useful, the most frequent, best route, not best route, the most frequent way to the answer is to transform the original equation into a sine or cosine. You know what I mean? It often leads you to the answer. There are some instances where you would use the other one, but they're a little rare. You get it? So let's deal with this one. And specifically, our directions for these examples said you got to use sine or cosine. So cotangent is what? Very nice. Is cosine theta over sine theta. And then what's the secant of theta? Good. Now, what do we do here? No. Everybody always wants to say that. Just because cross-multiplying looks like a nice warm hug, you know what I'm saying? It's not a blanket. It's not a blanket. Don't always use it. Yeah, this is going to be top times top, bottom times bottom, right? Okay? And if you're real smart, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. And actually, you guys are smart enough to do this. Let's take a shortcut. Deal? If you see two things with a multiplication symbol in between, technically, it's top times top, bottom times bottom. And this stuff on top will all end up together, and this stuff on bottom will all end up together, and then you could reduce. But since it's going to end up that way anyway, we can do something called cross-canceling. And you're only allowed to cross-cancel one item at a time. So here's what we get. In the end, we get 1 over the sine of theta. It is the same thing as the cosecant of theta, but we want everything represented for these particular scenarios in sine or cosine. Okay, Mick? Let's move along. Ooh, we're going to need a little extra room. Okay. So we got this first one, right? Tan squared theta plus 1. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, I forget, I don't know. Look up at that sheet. What's that thing equal? Very nice. Now you have the secant squared of theta. How could that be rewritten as a sine or cosine type problem? Jose? What's up? Oh, I am missing the theta. Let me put it in there real quickly. Sorry about that. My bad. Okay. Secant squared theta. What is the secant squared theta, but rewritten with sines or cosines, Maddie?
Would be like 1 over cosine theta.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. You could either say 1 over the cosine squared theta, but people often get confused what that squared means. That squared is the same thing as just two coses being multiplied together. And either one of those is a completely correct answer. Either one. Let's do this. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. What's the cotangent squared theta plus 1? Yep. And what is that's the same thing as saying? Very nice. We're going to leave it just like that. You get that I could have also written 1 over sine theta, right? Okay. So we're moving right along. Hold up one second. So in this particular scenario, I want to show you something, okay? There's going to be two ways to go about doing this problem. Neither one is better than the other, but this is where creativity gets involved. Felice, let's go with your approach. Tan theta is the same thing as what? This is sine theta over cos theta. Yep. Yep. See, I don't know about that because 1 over tan theta would produce a really unique thing. Is there any way to rewrite cotan theta using? Very nice. That's cos theta over sine theta. Now let's see. Remember what I told you about cross-canceling, right? If you wanted, you could do multiplying all the tops together. But let's just take a shortcut because these problems are relatively long. The foolish thing to do is to cancel off all the cosines. It's only 1. Very nice. So those cancel, and these signs cancel. And what's your answer in the end? 1 over cos theta. Very nice. Very nice. Now, let me show you the other approach. Can somebody think of it? See it, maybe? Oh, I think the other way is just as easy. Jason, you asked me why choose one over the other, right? Let me show you. Here's the tangent of theta. Right? We're going to keep it as itself. We're going to put it over 1. The secant of theta, convert that. What is it? It's 1 over cos theta. You know what the other version of cotan is? 1 over tan theta. And so, do you see what happens? I completely agree. It's just I wanted to show you that there's different ways for going about doing these problems. And so when you work with your friends, they might take one approach, you might take another. It's not wrong. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. How about these guys? How about these guys down over here? 1 divided by the secant cosecant of theta. Good job, Lil. Let's try. We got 1 divided by 1 over the cos of theta times 1 over the sine of theta. You remember when we did these back in the day, way back in the beginning of the year? When you guys were young and not old now? Yeah, you guys are old now. You guys are old. I'm surprised that I'd be curious. You guys could probably get discounts at the movie theater now, right? You guys are so old. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what you got. Let me show you. Sine theta. Sorry, cos theta, sine theta. My bad. Cos theta, sine theta. Okay. So here's what you've got. Now, how do you simplify that? You want the cheap shortcut? Okay. The cheap shortcut is that this stuff up over here will flip to the top and multiply whatever's up over here, and this 1 over here will stay the same. Okay? Okay, why is that the case? Why is that the case? Let me show you. Let me grab this right here. Sorry about that. We got to group it. We got to group it together. And let me bring it down. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So here's the deal. Here's how this works. This is really 1 divided by 1 over the cos theta sine theta. See that? Whenever I see problems like that, I get real hungry. You know what I get really hungry for? Nah. KFC. Love KFC. Yeah. Keep, change, flip. And so that's what I mean, why it flips to the top. And if you get really, really good at this, you don't have to do these extra steps. You can just flip it automatically, and it will save you some time. You just got to be careful when you use it. Right? Piece of cake, piece of cake. One more. One more to go. One more to go. One more. One more. One more. Let's do this. Okay. Now, other class last period, second period was on fire. They literally did this question in 2 seconds. So here's what they did. What do you think they did? This is tangent of theta divided by what? 1 over the tangent of theta. And what do you think that becomes? Very nice. Without doing any work, she realized that the bottom will flip up to the top, and saving time and effort, you're going to get tan squared theta. Very nice. Now, plus, what's tan theta plus cotan theta? That's tan theta times 1 over the tangent of theta. What do you think that crosses out to be? Of what? Just 1. No, see, now we're getting all mixed up with stuff, right? It's only when you're faced with things like the first part. Yeah, very nice, Lil. So now you're getting the hang of it. So this is the same thing as saying the secant squared of theta. But remember the original direction said we have to write everything in terms of sine and cosine. And so what is that? Amanda, do you concur? 1 over the cosine squared theta. So what do you guys think? Is this easy? Good.